Alright guys, now that we're done playing with my days sweaty abs, today we're going to do something fun. At least I hope it'll be fun. Don't worry, me getting Chun-Li made me on a my day conquering my village. I hope it doesn't take me as a war prize. Why are we into the same things? We can do sustain. We're gonna have a support. Okay, a buffer. Okay, and then we're gonna do DPS. Currently it's on my day merch. Yo, guys, can someone get me a my day body pillow? Wait, you've seen them? Wait, send. Sauce. Okay. March 7th. This is the worst sustain in the game. She's so bad. I don't like. There's not much to talk about. I'm sorry. I don't think there's anything good about March 7th. I don't think you can even use her. No mighty, but what do you mean? Like, what? She has no niche. She can't generally sustain. She's the most skill point negative sustain. She can turn into a rock forever. True. Okay, fire trailblazer. I think this is the second worst sustain in the game. Okay, fire trailblazer has one niche. Okay, you can use her as a very budget Acheron support, but even then, she's not sustaining the entire team. I remember when Fire Trailblazer was like, people used to use her as like a breaker for like pure fiction. And she was actually okay at that, but I think like nowadays, like you can't really do that anymore. Natasha. Okay, here's the thing about Natasha, right? Natasha can sustain. She can solo sustain. It's just very hard. Okay, March 7th cannot sustain. So I think for that reason alone, I put her in tier 4. She is the worst unit who's capable of not tier 3. You are being too generous. I kind of disagree with Pridewin when they put her in the same tier as like March 7th and like Fire Trailblazer. I think she's better. I think she's way better. Okay, Bailu. Okay, I actually think Bailu is pretty good. I think as long as the enemy doesn't have CC, like Bailu works really, really well. Like she's pretty skill point friendly. She gets like damage reduction, which is pretty rare for a healer. And in fact, I think she's the only healer that can do that. She has the revive. Like as her only weakness really is she doesn't have any offensive benefits, which is a big deal, and she can cleanse. But as long as the enemy can't cleanse, I think she does like pretty well. What am I hearing? I think Bailu, honestly, I think tier 2 is very solid. I think she's actually like pretty good. I just spilled my water all over my pants. One sec. Ah, it's everywhere! So what? Okay, moving on. Japard. So Japard doesn't have a cleanse. But what he does have over Bailu is he has like an aggro, right? He has like a pseudo taunt. So he can end up absorbing a lot of the CC anyways, just because they all just attack him. So he does have like some CC prevention, albeit it's not like the most reliable. And he also does pretty good as like an Acheron support too. Because you can give him trend and they will most likely attack Japard. Okay, nowadays I don't think there's any reason to use Japard or Bailu, honestly. But like if you do have to use them, like they're okay. They're okay. I think he goes in tier 2. Just because like he has a good niche with Acheron. And the sustain is like his sustain is fine. Body fill on DMs. Okay guys, we're gonna take a 30-minute break so I can I'm just kidding. Luo Cha. He has a lot of healing. He is completely skill point positive. Okay, Luo Cha has 2 weaknesses. Mostly. He doesn't have any offensive capabilities, which nowadays is a pretty big deal when it comes to sustains. And he doesn't do good, like, against, like, very heavy, like, AoE. If the whole team gets hit by, like, a very heavy attack, he will have a hard time, like, dealing with that. It's not impossible, but it's a little uncomfortable sometimes. Luo Cha gotta be in Bailu tier at least. He's definitely way better than Bailu. He does a lot more healing than Bailu. He's a lot better than Bailu. Luo Cha is just like, he's just a good healer. But that's all he does. He just heals. That's all he does. He heals, he gives XP. Or as SP. I'll put him in tier 1.5 for now. Definitely better than these two. By a long shot. It's not even close. Okay, Lynx. Lynx I kind of just view as like a slightly better version of Natasha. I think what Lynx Lynx kind of has a niche, but like not really. Like you can use Lynx with Rinli, you can use Lynx of Clara, you can use Lynx of even My Day, like kind of works. But in all those teams, Lynx gets outclassed by Huohuo. I mean, she's still like the free to play like substitute for it. But like her actual like healing like is honestly like not very good. Better than Chart Bailu? I kind of disagree. I think Bailu like is way better at just keeping the team alive than Lynx. Like, okay, actually try to use like Lynx to sustain a team. Like any of the teams I didn't just mention. It is hell. It is hell on earth. Her heals are so bad. Yeah, exactly. I think she's better than Natasha because at least she has like a niche she can use. She at least has a niche. Natasha doesn't have a niche. I don't think she's better than Bailu. I don't think it's close. Okay, Fu Shen. Okay, now this is this might get a bit spicy. Okay, I have my relationship with Fu Shen is very up and down. I would say right now we're on pretty good terms. But okay, we can go over flaws. The thing of Fu Shen is that for some reason, every other enemy in the game just counters her. You have Nikador like cutting the HP. You have like that one like enemy that like also cuts your HP. And just like absolutely just like gets rid of all of Fu Shen stacks. You have like that DOT like guy that the guy that like splashes DOT on you, like also kind of screws over Fu Shen. You have like True Swarm with like giant AoE nuke, like anything of giant AoE nukes, like Hule, like it can get like really uncomfortable with Fu Shen. I've been using her since bootloader release and never had any problems. I have had problems, and my Fu Shen is pretty well built. I have not changed this build since I got her. This like the thing of Fu Shen is like you can get fricked over. Okay, fair enough. I could build 10k HP on her. I could. That would make things easier. I feel okay. Fu Shen like can get fricked up, but I think despite all of that, she still overcomes like all of these issues. Is the thing, right? Like she has these things that make things uncomfortable for her, but she can still sustain like through it. Okay, and another weakness, like I will say, Fu Shen like this isn't really a weakness, but more of like just the other healers we have here being like so broken. Fu Shen doesn't have any particularly like good synergy with anyone. Like you can use her at Acheron. Arguably Venturing is better, but aside from that, Fu Shen doesn't really have any synergy. Is the thing. Her buff is like nice, but it's not all that. I think Fu Shen doesn't contribute like that much offensively compared to the other healers is the thing. And I feel like that's a really big deal for a sustain to actually contribute like some offensive power. If we're doing just in raw sustain, like yes, Fu Shen would be like up here, but Fu Shen I feel like just lacks synergy with people. I feel like she just goes in tier 1. Honestly, I can move Lachab, I feel like, maybe. I'll get back to that. Okay, Huohuo. Huohuo is also very interesting because Huohuo has I feel like Huohuo has very low lows and very high highs. Like her energy and attack buff are like broken. She contributes a lot like offensively. She's a harmony character in a sustain. But if we just look at her sustaining capabilities, she kind of falls behind like all the other limited 5 stars. Huohuo can be SP a negative. Yeah, exactly, that too. And also, her like thing. I forgot like what part of a kit was like her passive healing, right? That thing gets like eaten up by memo sprites. So you can actually run out of like Huohuo's passive healing as well with the new memo sprites. You forgot that Fu Shen is also really SP positive. I disagree. Fu Shen is +1 every 3 turns. Luocha is +3 every 3 turns. Gallagher is +4 every 3 turns. Aventurine is +3. Like if we compare Fu Shen to the standard of sustains we have right now, she is not that SP positive. Fu Shen is skill auto, right? She's locked into that. She only generates 1 skill point every 3 turns. Okay, but that all being said, I think Huohuo goes into tier 0.5. She has like really good like buffs, and most of the time, like her healing is enough. So I think 0.5 is pretty good. Gallagher, 4-star goat, the free-to-play goat. This guy is the most skill point positive sustain in the entire game because of his action advantage on the ult. So, okay. I have like one issue with Gallagher. If you take him for his skill point positivity, which is like normally why you would run Gallagher, he can't heal very well if you have allies that don't attack the enemy. If you try to run Gallagher with like, let's say Sunday, Bronya, like Robin, his healing is actually very low. Unless you actually use a skill. But if you use a skill, then like, that kind of gets rid of like some of his biggest strains. Which you can still skill on him. It's not that big of a deal, but like if your team is tight on skill points, then it gets kind of rough. Even then, he has to use skills only now and then. That is true, but it is still a concern for like teams that require like a lot of skill points. He has to skill if you play cringe characters like Sunday and Robin, exactly. Look, the strengths greatly outweigh the weaknesses. Right? I'm just saying he's not like the perfect sustain that like some people make him out to be. Cause his actual sustain like is lower than like a lot of the other characters we're going to talk about. The SP Hunger teams you have Sunday, which is piracy, neutral, positive as well. That is true. I guess like I guess his SB problems were more of a problem before we had Sunday. Because if you were to run Gallagher and Bronya, like back in the day, maybe I'm just like living like in the old days where you had to use Bronya instead of Sunday. If you used Gallagher or Bronya and you had to skill on Gallagher, like that would screw you over. Because Bronya just burned through so much SB. But that also brings me to another point. He does have someone almost always an objectively better replacement to him. But yeah, I mean, Gallagher is still really good, though. Best in slot of my day. Best in slot of, like, Firefly. Like, against, like, a single I think against, like, a single target enemy, Gallagher might be, like, better than Lingshot on, like, a Firefly team. I think I put Gallagher in 0.5. I'm not gonna order them. Because I think in almost every team, like, Gallagher has, like, a better replacement. He's not going to be the apex support of, like, almost any team. Venturine! If we're just talking about like raw sustaining like capabilities, this guy is on top. This guy's shields never break, I swear. They almost never break. Best in San Fua, follow-up attacks, which is like a lot of units nowadays. Face Yao. I feel like I almost never have like a sustain problem with Venturine. I think the only problem like you'd ever have with Venturine is like if your team like drains HP. And he contributes offensively, guys. Like he's best in slot of Acheron. He's best in slot of Face Yao. He's best in slot of Jade, I think, as well. Like, this guy has just so many good teams he's on. And he's, like, the best general sustain. I think he deserves tier 0. The best general sustain, I mean, as in, like, actually keeping your team alive. Okay, Lingsha. This is the best character in the game. Like, what the hell were you thinking? Bro, her healing is, like, she has, like, the best healing in the game. Like, generally speaking. She does the most damage out of any sustain. Her weakness breaking is, like, ridiculous. Her attacks are all AoE. She has vulnerability on her ult, like, break damage on her ult. He's vulnerability with her S1. Like, what were we thinking? Yeah, and then you just put Fugui on her. You put Fugui's skill on her. She just, like, kills everything. Okay, if I'm being completely fair, Ningxia does have weaknesses, right? If you do want to maximize her damage output, you do have the player relatively skill point negative, which isn't a problem in like 2 out of the 3 break teams we have, but that is a thing. And in completely single target content, she isn't really that much better than Gallagher, and sometimes even like worse than Gallagher. Like for example, like I'm running like my Firefly team is like the completely free to play team, right? I have Firefly, like Harmony MC, like Renmei. Okay, not free to play. If I'm fighting a single target, I find Gallagher a lot better than Ningxia. Just because of his skill points. And it just lets me spam skill on Harmony MC. Which then leads to more like breakness or weakness break and like DDD and stuff. So Ningxia like does have weaknesses. But I still think she's like broken. Oh yeah, another thing about Ningxia is you can actually build her crit. And you can use her in follow teams. Like Ningxia like can do Aventurine's drop. Like Ningxia can replace Aventurine at like 80% effectiveness. Like she can do Aventurine's job and do it pretty decently. He's not better than him. Also, in retrospect, I think honestly we could just move Locha up here and leave 1.50 because I do think there's like a big gap between these two and these two. And I don't think there's like that big of a gap between Fushan and Locha. This will be the sustain tier list. This will be the definitive sustain tier list. Let's start with Asta. Okay. Asta's buffs consist of what, like a 50-ish speed buff, but it isn't active consistently. A 70% attack buff if she maintains all the attack buffs, like all her stacks. I'm stuttering over my words. All her stacks at once, and like a little bit of fire damage. Like she's okay in Pure Fiction. Like you can use her in Pure Fiction. Like people did used to run her in Super Break as a replacement to Renmei. I think I'll put her in tier 3 for now. Like, she has her niche, but, like, very, very replaceable. Okay, Pela. Pela, to this day, is still best in slot of Acheron. At least at E0. This is a good like free to play option for like other teams. Like you can use her with like My Day. You can use her with Jingliu, I guess. That probably works. Like maybe ratio. I guess no, nobody uses ratio anymore, huh? Yeah, I mean, she has like one team basically, but like it's a really really good team. She's not best in. Well, she is the best second slot for Acheron. I think she can go in tier 1, just because I mean Acheron is dragging her up here. Okay, Tingren. Tingren is interesting. I feel like Tingren has kind of lost her niche. Is the sad part. Like, I guess you can use her with Rinli to like battery your Robin. Like, she's really good at using DDD. Like, any team you can use Tigran is, and you can use Sunday and usually to a much higher capacity. I don't know. Like I feel like her only niche is like a Sunday substitute for like Rinli and like maybe Dill. Like her buffs aren't good anymore either. They used to be. Now they're not. Maybe I'll put him tier 1 for not 1.5 for now. It's like a niche like Sunday substitute and like a Robin battery maybe. I don't know. I've seen people like zero cycle her, but this isn't a zero cycle list. Okay, Bronya. Bronya kind of had her job taken from her, kind of like how Tingren did. He doesn't really have a team anymore. Like even as a Sunday substitute, it's infinitely worse. Bronya's advances Sunday. Yeah, but that's mostly for like zero cycle stuff. Okay, the one team I see Blade or Bronya like used in is a Blade and Jade, right? Because Sunday's buffs are all single target. But like single target buffing your Blade is like complete troll nowadays. So I've seen people use Bronya instead, just so her ult affects Jade. If we ignore Sunday, like even if we ignore Sunday, she still doesn't really have a team that like is meta. Yeah, I mean this girl has no meta teams. I don't know. Also, Blade isn't good either. So she doesn't even that team isn't good. I think I'll put her in tier 2. Okay, let's move on. Well, this is the worst support in the game, if you even count him as a support. I don't know where else to put him. I'm unfollowing! No, don't follow, please! I need clout! Okay, moving on. Silver Wolf. I remember the days when this character was first released. The golden child of the most future-proof character in HSR, they said. Nobody can replace her, she said. The only truly future-proof character. The most broken character they have ever made. Like, at this point, Silver's weakness implant is, like, irrelevant. Right? It lasts for, like, what, 2 turns? Her debuffs all last for, like, 1 turn? She can't, like, sometimes she can't even, like, 3-turn all or something. This character is a mess. Like, her Sig is useless. I feel like her only place is, like, as a substitute for Xiao. But she's so much worse than him. I can barely, like, it's still usable. Like, I did clear MOC 12 with Acheron, Pela, Silverwolf. So she can't be, like, that low. Maybe I put her with Bronya, I guess. Maybe she can go here. It depends. But she has one team, right? She has one team, and she's, like, not that good in that one team. She's okay in that one team. She's better than Pela? No, she's not. Oh, in single target? Is she? I don't think she is, because Pela just gives her so many more stacks, right? I don't think she's better than Pela even in single target. He just doesn't generate as many stacks. I'll put in tier 2 for now. Ryukong, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. This character is really bad. Guinaifen, okay, let's try to be as optimistic as possible. You can use her as a Renmei substitute for Super Break, I guess, if they're Fire Weak. You can use her as an Acheron support if you don't have any 5 stars. Her damage is like non-existent. I'm like not gonna even factor that. Like maybe we can make her. Like, I'll put her tier 4. I think he's better than these two for by a mile. Yeah, unfortunately she doesn't really have a place. She's never really had a place. Okay, Hanya. I feel like this character was never really good. He was like okay on Dill teams for like a few patches, and then she was never seen again. I feel like her buffs are better than Yukong's. Like I have seen people use her. I think I've seen her used in APOC maybe. I think I've even seen her used in Pure Fiction like a couple times. But tier 4 of Guinaifen. Oh, okay. We're gonna go into the more controversial stuff. Renmei. I think Renmei has a big problem. She kind of just has an identity crisis. Her buffs are like way too general for her to be slot into like any team with perfect synergy. Even break teams, like you use her with break teams nowadays, and she's still like best in slot of break teams, I'd say. But like even then, it's like Fugui is doing like way more for the team than Renmei is. Like Renmei is replaceable even in break teams, and also like her buff distribution, like it's too generalist, right? It doesn't make any sense. She has like this break efficiency, but she also has like a lot of her kit like tied to damage percent, which is completely useless to break. She's best in slot for break and still fine as a general support and speed and rest fan. Yeah, she's like fine for a generalist support, but she gets outclassed by like every other she's always outclassed by someone else. She's always like the second or even third or fourth option for like every other team. I still think she's top tier, but I don't think she's tier 0. I think tier 0.5 is fair. Yeah. Renmei is canonically close to Herta, which makes me like her more. True, those guys have a spicy relationship. She's gay with her though, so she's tier 0. Okay, fair enough. Sparkle. Oh my god. Yeah, looking at this character just makes me sad. Okay, what teams like? Okay, I actually she's still best in slot of Dill. I think she is, but like she's like the second slot, right? Like Sunday is better, right? What's his best team? Is it Sunday, Sparkle, and Dill? I use Sparkle with Acheron. Yeah, but like, do you have an E2 Acheron? Because Sparkle is not very good with E0 Acheron. I think it's complete bait. No, his best teams are still with Sparkle Sunday. Like she has a team of Dill. And Dill is like a decent DPS. Like he's okay. He's not like that bad. He's okay. He's like a little mid, but he's like okay. Yeah, Acheron has to be E2. We're not doing E2 in this list. And like what else does Sparkle have that's like a viable team nowadays? Like you can use her with My Day. It's worse than Sunday if you can use her with My Day. You can use her with like a lot of the 1.0 DPSs, but like none of them are good. Every Dill is E2. Like low-key true. Not true, but low-key true. Here too, I guess. Like at least she has teams that are clearing. I don't think she's asked a level. Her crit damage increase, so you should have crit DPS. Okay, but here's the thing. Like, okay, what's the crit DPSs we have now? Like, what are all the meta ones? Like, My Day, you can use her. Sunday is better. Herta, like, you'd rather use, like, Tribby, you'd rather use Robin, you'd rather use Renmei even, you'd rather use, like, RMC. Like, you'd use so many, like, other units before you'd consider Sparkle. Like, Aglia too, you'd rather use RMC, you'd rather use, Sunday, you'd rather use Robin, you'd rather use Tribby, you'd rather use even Qingyuan. Like, I don't know. Like, Face Xiao, like, yeah, we're not using Sparkle of her. Qingyuan, like, yeah, we're not using Sparkle of him either. Usually, you can use Sparkle, but, like, even then, she's still not best in slot. I'll put her in tier 2. Honestly, maybe it's too mean. Maybe Silverl can be 1.5 just because like she can't she's viable with Acheron. Nah, we'll leave it like this for now. Okay, HMC. I think HMC is still very good. Like pretty good. He can substitute either Renmei or Fugue. He's still very solid. Definitely worse than Fugue or Renmei in most cases, anyways. But still like a very solid unit. I think tier 1. Tier 1 is good. Not too much to say. Just a very solid unit. Robin, she alone is the honored one, I believe. Tier 0, I'm afraid. I mean, not too much discussion here, right? I don't think anyone's gonna disagree if Robin tier 0. I can't believe they released this unit. Holy crap. Okay, Xiao Qiu. So, Xiao Qiu has basically one team. But yeah, Xiao Qiu has like one team. Okay, like, you can use him with Ratio, but Ratio isn't that good anymore. And you can actually use him with My Day. Like, he's actually like fine with My Day. Xiao Qiu's not better than Acheron. Acheron can work without Xiao Qiu. Just not very well. Like, she can clear MOC without Xiao Qiu. Xiao Qiu can't do anything without Acheron. Actually, maybe she can with My Day now. Okay. Halo's better than Xiao Qiu for My Day, though? I don't think so. I don't think she is. I think Xiao Qiu is better outside Acheron team than Acheron is. I don't think that logic works. I would say because he's so limited, we put him in tier 0.5. He's really good at what he does. He's really, 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 really good at what he does, but he only does one thing. Every fox has his day. Sunday. I think it's very hard for me not to put Sunday in tier 0. He's best in slot of Aglia, he's best in slot of My Day. And those are like the two of the strongest DPSs we have right now. He's best in slot of like also like every like version 1 DPS, if that matters. Best in slot of Yinli, I believe. He's a good substitute as well for other units like Herta. Like the Herta. You can actually substitute Sunday with Face Xiao as well if you really wanted to. He's good at Jingran. Jingran is like pretty good nowadays too. Yeah, I think he has to be tier 0. He's just good if like the best DPSs we have. Yeah, I think he has to be tier 0, even without signature. Okay, Fugui. Fugue. Bug you. I don't know how to pronounce it. Fugui is tier 0 to tier 0.5. I'd say because she's currently in theory the main Super Break enabler. So like here's the thing about Super Break right now. Like Super Break is still very, very strong. It's still meta, but it's no longer like the Apex archetype. Like Super Break is like fallen off a little bit. Not completely. It's still very strong, but it's not like It's not like the shit anymore. Like even like Rappa like sometimes like struggles a little bit in pure fiction if nothing goes her way. It's still really, really strong, but it's not Apex anymore. It's Super Break is not at the level of the Herda or Aglaia. Or even like at this point, even Acheron, arguably. So I think because of that, Fuguei is not tier 0. I think she's only 0.5. Not that Super Break is weak, but other things are better. Because that's what tier 0 is supposed to be, right? Tier 0 is supposed to just be like the best of the best. You can brute force like literally anything, right? I don't know. RMC. Okay, guys. Okay. Hot take. Is it me or is this character like really overrated? like her. She's really like valuable because she's free to play, right? But do they even have like a best in slot team? Is there any team that's best in slot of RMC? Because there isn't, right? I'm pretty sure there isn't. She has a replacement for everything. Like I don't think there's a single team she's best in slot. I think they're really, really, really strong. But I think like people like kind of claim her to be like among the best supports in the game. And I like kind of disagree with that. I don't think she's tier 0. I think she's 0.5. I think she's very solidly 0.5. I think she's very strong. She's a very good like second option in many teams that are meta. Let's move on to our final. I didn't miss anyone, right? Okay, Trivy. Okay, here's the thing about Trivy that like kind of makes me conflicted. Trivy is like really good right now because everything is AoE. MOC is all AoE. APOC is all AoE. And Pure Fiction is obviously all AoE. No. I'm not saying she's bad. Okay? Look, okay. I'm okay. Just to clarify, she's tier 0. Okay, just to clarify, okay. I'm just showing a little bit of skepticism. Let's say like we're in future environments where like things start to shift towards single target. I feel like Tribby her weaknesses might start to show more, but she's gonna get less energy. She's not gonna have as much uptime. But even if that does all happen, she's still like the definitive best support in Pure Fiction. I'm just saying, like she might be worse once the environment shifts. But no matter what, she's going to be the best in Pure Fiction. So I think it's safe to put her in tier 0. I'm just saying I'm a little bit skeptical. I don't think she's better than Robin at E0. I think Robin is just too good. Robin is just universal. Trivy's a better generalist than Robin. I don't agree. I think she's a better generalist than Robin if you're fighting AoE content. I think in general she is not better than Robin. I think Robin is just way too strong. They're definitely relative. I just think Robin is just more consistent against like content that isn't strictly AoE. Maybe I'm not cooking. Robin is marginally better in Trivy and Robin teams and worse than all other teams. Honestly, that's a fair point. But again, only in AoE, right? Only in AoE. Wait, let me see if I want to change anything. Actually, because I think this is a good list. These 4, like, I don't know what to make of these 4. They're all just substitutes for meta teams. None of them are meta. Honestly, I've been using Sparkle with My Day, and honestly, she's not bad. She's really not bad. Like, I've had, like, honestly, like, closer results than you think with Sparkle My Day than, like, with Sunday My Day. So I might move her up. She's good at My Day, she's good at Dill. Won't play that horrible character My Day. How dare you? How dare you insult my husband right in front of me? I'll do this. This isn't ordered, but I'll do this. Okay, let me pull up the DPSs. Okay, this is gonna be the most headache. Okay, okay, for now, let's get, like, let's just put people in tier 5. Okay, let's just get this out of the way. This. Sushang maybe could be tier 4. I don't know. Super Break Sushang, I don't know. Good tier 5, maybe. Oh wait, Lingsha. Did I put Lingsha on this list, guys? Nah, I'm not going to. I'm not gonna rank Lingsha. Luca's so good I used him 1.5. Oh no. No one tell him. Luca's Sheep Boot Hill. Like, I've never used him. I don't know how good he is. Okay, let's start with Herda. Okay, just to preface this, guys, right? Pridewind's tier list is based off of the last, like, 3 MOCs, right? That's how they do their tier list. Or based off of the last 2 MOCs, the last 2 Pure Fiction, the last 2 APOCs, right? We're doing, like, all modes taken into account, and, like, not just the recent MOCs. We're doing, like, their general power. That being said, Herta, one of the best DPSs, or sub-DPSs in Pure Fiction. Outside of that, doesn't really see much use, unless you have this weird, like, MOC format we have right now, where everything is AoE. But even then, like, I guess she still doesn't really use that much. Tier 1, I think, just because of Pure Fiction. Simply is tier 4? I don't think so. Bro does no damage. Mini her in the Herda work, yeah. But I think with the Herda, unless you're in Pure Fiction, and even in Pure Fiction, she does have better substitutes. Xingque. Okay, I feel like Xingque, like, isn't that bad. She can do, like, okay damage, I feel like. Especially in, like, the recent, like, Quantum Week MOC. I feel like she's not that bad. Probably, like, tier 3. I feel like she's okay. Like, she's barely usable. Herda's Jade, Winsett Serval, and Mini Herda for current teammates. Yeah, and Jade and Winsett Serval are better in MOC. Speaking of Serval, I mean, Serval nowadays is just the Herda support, right? And she's like okay at it. I mean, even without that, like Herda is like even without the Herda is still like really strong on her own. Like she's still like a tier 0, tier 0.5 maybe. Probably tier 0 unit in like pure fiction just on her own without the Herda. Even without the Herda, like I still think she'd be this high just for pure fiction alone. Like I think in any account you should build the Herda, right? I think she's good in you should build the Herda like no matter who you are, basically. Or not mini Herda, not the Herda, I meant mini Herda, yeah. I don't know, I think she's just such a valuable unit. I think tier 1 is completely fair. Cerebell is just like, it's just like the Herda battery, and she's like pretty good at it. I mean, Jade is better, but she does get the job on really well. Probably tier 2. I think better than Team Tre. I think she's stronger than Team Tre, for sure. Clara, probably tier 0.5 at lowest? You think so? Maybe. I mean, she is really good. Cerebell's as good as Jingren as a DP. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not even close. Jingren is 10 times the DPS Cerebell is as of right now. Maybe before, like they were comparable, but like now, not even close. I'm be honest, it's staying Blast A for MOC and APOC as well, or more or less if we include Hule. I disagree. MOC and APOC, and even Pure Fiction, sometimes, just cater towards whatever DPS they're trying to sell. It won't stay like this forever. So I disagree with that. It might stay AoE for the near future, but not like forever. This is their general power, right? This isn't their like, hey, things are AoE right now, so all the AoE characters are broken, you know? But that logic, if mini Herd is really pure fiction, yeah, I know. I'm taking that into account. I think she's like tier 0 in pure fiction, so overall she's still very high, just because of her like absolute prowess in pure fiction. I'm taking that into account. Because okay, let's go back to the logic. Like we're only doing like the current like situation. Everything is AoE, right? Bootail is like going down like here somewhere, you know. Face Chow is like going down like here somewhere, you know, like. I don't know, that just feels wrong to me. Because at the end of the day, guys, like, the environment never stays the same. It's always changing. So I think it's, like, it's pretty fair to rate characters by how, I think it's important to take their flexibility into account. Like, DPSs that can handle multiple situations. I mean, that's just my philosophy. I mean, I think the environment is always changing. I think it's really, I don't think it's fair to just rate things of how they are right now, because nothing stays the same. If this is fair, we can move on for now. Clara. Okay, is it me or is Clara like kind of overrated? Like, I sure she's not that good in pure fiction, and she's like okay in MOC, I guess, and she's not good in APOC. She's not overrated. Place her in QQ tier. I feel like yeah, I place her in QQ tier roughly. She's too slow for pure fiction. I feel like nowadays you don't have time to like wait for the enemies to like hit you, and then Clara will like shoot them once and maybe kill one of them. Like, I don't know. The same thing for APOC. Like, her toughness damage isn't great. Especially how slow the APOC enemies attack sometimes. In MOC, she's okay, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I think she's, like, okay in MOC. That's about it. Like, sometimes you'll see her do good in APOC. Himiko is very interesting. Himiko is so hard to rate. The second there's fiery content, she just, like, destroys everything. Even if it's, like, not... Even if it's blast target, not AoE. But if there's no Fire Week, kinda sucks. And tier mini Herd is tier 0.5 because she buys on Fire Week. Yeah, but I think she's better in mini than mini Herd in some ways, because you can use her in MOC and you can use her in APOC if they're Fire Week. For Herda, she's pretty much just locked into pure fiction. Oh, speaking of feet. But I guess mini Herda, it does have the luxury of being a Herda support. Of the Herda support, rather. Himiko isn't like as good as the Herda support. And if there is Fire Week, like she just deletes pure fiction like it's nothing. Maybe you're right, Scarlet. Maybe 1.5. Maybe I think I like that. Oh my god, Sela. Okay, keep in mind, we're doing Sela with a full E0 team, right? An E0 maybe S1 team. Tila, that was tier 4 on a good day. Sela's goated. Bro, is Sela worse than Xingtra? I feel like maybe she is. And that breaks my heart because Sela's like a top 5 favorite character of mine. Because she literally can't proc resurgence nowadays at E0. At E0, it's like almost impossible. Even against Quantum Week. I mean, we can try it right now if you don't believe me. How Sela's main niche is useless because of really hard to hurt. Yeah, that's a thing. Dude, is Sela actually tier 4? I don't want to put her in tier 4. Like, I don't want to put her in tier 4. If I see those cringe zero cycles use her, she can't be that bad. Okay, here's the thing about the Sela zero cycles, right? The zero cycles are using like E2 supports, right? E2 Robin, E2 Tribby, E2 Sparkle, E2 like E1 Sunday maybe. And if you give Sela that damage, then yeah, she can one-shot the mobs and she can proc resurgence. But without that, it's literally impossible and it just breaks the whole point of the character. Dude, is Sela actually tier 4? Oh my god, she might be tier 4. Okay, in Sela's defense, for example, this new APOC Shadow. In Sela's defense, right? If you can run Sela sustainless, then she will get the damage she needs to one-shot like the mobs, right? Like in this current APOC, you can actually run Sela sustainless because of the APOC buff, and like you can proc resurgence. That being said, I don't think that's a strong enough argument for her. If you can use run any CBS the same list, the one perform better. Yeah, but I think Ceylon in particular like benefits from that more than most DPSs. Just because she can reach the threshold for standards. I mean, that being said, I don't think like it matters. Maybe she is tier 4. I don't want to do this. Yeah, just for one APOC, yeah, so you're right. The real red pill is realizing every team should be run sustainless. Oh god, let's not go there. Oh my god, is Sela actually tier 4? That makes me so sad. I don't want to put her tier 4, but I can't find an excuse for her to be higher. Actually, how is Sela of Tribby? Because I never tried Sela of Tribby. Because wouldn't Tribby help her, like, kill them all? I don't know. Don't see why she would be worse than QQ, because QQ doesn't rely on Resurgence. QQ, like, without Resurgence, QQ does more damage than Sela. It's just so sad. Okay, let's just move on. This topic pains me. Okay, our general, Jingran. So Jingran is actually like, he's the best 1.0 DPS, or 1.x DPS. He's actually not bad. He's decent in Pure Fiction. Not the best, but he's decent. Decent in MOC too. He's just a solid character, I feel like. Like, all his weaknesses have been completely, like, fixed. Where are we putting Jingran? Maybe tier 1. I think tier 1 is fair. I don't think he's, like, Apex tier. But I think he's very good. Himiko tier. I think he's worse than Herda. I feel like he's more value. I feel like he's relatively as valuable as Herda, if not more. I think I'll put him tier 1 for now. I think he's very solid. He's not better in any game mode than Herda is in Pure Fiction, so he's worse. That's not how it works though. Like Herda is like mini Herda is like completely useless in MOC and APOC, and Jingran is very good in those modes. Like on average, Jingran is like as good, if not better than Herda. Okay. Blade. Guys, where do I put Blade? Where do I put Blade? You guys Q tier, but I feel like QQ might be better than Blade. Okay, I think Blade has one thing going for him. Is that he is an okay, like, he's not great at this, but he's an okay Jade driver. He is okay at it. He isn't? No, he is, because he does a lot of follow-ups of Jade, and he gives Jade a lot of stacks. If you compare to his yes, okay, yes, he is worse. He is worse than other Jade drivers, okay, but he is still a okay Jade driver. Why are you just letting me have Herda? Because like if you're doing like MOC or something, Blade will end up like giving Jade more stacks than normal Herda. And I've seen it clear, but I mean, it's not the best. He's only 6 years worth of Trivia Lingsha as Jade driver. I'm just saying, if you can make him work, it's like, you know, at least he has a team that he can clear with. Jade driver is not a very in-demand position. That is true. Look, here's the thing, right? Blade can clear MOC. He can, with Jade. And it's Jade doing all the work, but Blade is on the team, you know? Okay, for clarification, guys, I'm not saying Blade is good. I'm just making him a case to be better than Sela, I feel like, which kind of breaks my heart, because I love Sela. I think Sela, like, I don't even know if she can clear MOC at this point. It's like at a full easier team. Like Blade at least like has a usable niche, even if he's not like the best option in that niche. So I think Blade goes in tier 3. If you can clear within 30 cycles, I will dispatch you in 10 cycles. No way that holds up in court. I am the court. Okay, Kafka. Man, these next like few DPSs are gonna be like painful for me. I know how to sugarcoat it. She's so bad. She's so bad. You can use her as like a replacement for like Taylor, Jiaoqiu, and like Pure Fiction to make Acheron stack more. Like, I know, haha, Acheron, like Dockeron in 2025. I mean, it still, like, can work. I don't know. I mean, at this point, like, she's an okay Acheron battery. If I'd give that to her, maybe tier 2. Like, I think she clears easier than, like, these guys do. I'll just put her in tier 2, I think. Let's move on. Dill! I think Dill is not bad. I don't know. Like, he's better than Kafka for sure. He's worse than Jingran, I think. I think it's just 1.5. Very solid. Maybe not very solid. He's okay. He's okay. He's not that bad. Maybe I do move Serval up. No, looking at this again. I feel like she's like as good, if not better than like these units. So maybe I move her up. Jingliu. Okay. Look. Okay. I might be biased, but Jingliu, I feel like is actually pretty good. She is not as, I feel like she's overhated. Nope, be quiet. Look. My Jingliu, right? I was able to 3 cycle with her, Sunday, Robin, and Lingsha. I didn't even have her best in slot team. And I could 3 cycle with her. Granted, I do have E1, but like E1 doesn't really do anything. Okay, let's take away the E1. Like I still clear in like 4 cycles with not even her best in slot team. Because the thing about Jingliu is Jingliu benefited from Sunday more than any other 1.0 DPS besides Jingran. Because Sundays are least. It didn't just give Jingo Sunday. It made it so her team was skill point positive enough so that she could replace the other slot of Robin. And that was just like a massive upgrade for Jingo. Like if we're just talking about like E0, Jingo, Robin, Sunday, Hoha. You don't even need Hoha really. Like that is actually a very strong team. That could clear like all the Ice Week content in the game. Sounds convincing. Okay. I think she goes in tier 1.5. There's no way Jinglyo is on the same level as Kafka. You cannot convince me that. I think she's like on par with like these units. Ooh, okay. I don't know how to go over this character. Topaz. Okay, to preface this again, this is not a value tier list. This is just looking at the character and seeing how strong they are. This isn't like a pull value tier list. Because if it was, Topaz would be like really low. Topaz is not a character. What? What does that mean? I love her. Okay. You have a weird way of showing affection. Okay, I think Topaz is like, she is the best in slot of Face Xiao. I don't think she has another team though, actually now that I think about it. Like you could run her with Himiko, I guess. If you want, you can run her with Greenlee. She's marginally better than free character replacement. Yeah, but we're not gonna talk about that. We're just gonna see the character's strength in like isolation. Also, she's like completely useless in AoE content. I think Face Xiao alone can carries her to tier 1. Maybe I can see 0.5. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Face Xiao, maybe 0.5. Because Face Xiao is the strongest like single target DPS we have. I believe. I think she's just like the strongest single target DPS. And Topaz is on her best team. And she is better than March 7th. She is better than March 7th. I don't know. I think the only problem with Topaz is like the current environment is like screwing her over. It's not really Topaz's fault that like he's like falling behind a little bit. When is Hule back in MOC? Exactly, right? I think 0.5 is fine for Topaz. I think it's just the current environment kind of screws her over a bit. Argenti. Okay, Argenti is a good Herda battery, but you can also run him main DPS in Pure Fiction, and he still does very good in that. Honestly, Argenti is solid, isn't he? Isn't he very solid? I wouldn't say he's like meta, but I think he's very good. Herda battery, very good in Pure Fiction. At least in Herda tier, yeah. I think tier 1 is good. From a gameplay perspective, from like a character building perspective, like a kit design perspective, I hate this character so much. I hate this character, her kit specifically. I like her character like design and like personality and stuff. I hate her kit. Why did they make a crit DPS that scales off of break effect, but break damage doesn't scale with crit or damage percent or any other buffs? Her kit makes no sense. And you need everything. You need crit. You need speed. You need attack. You need attack because her damage percent gets like diluted. And then you need break, and I hate this character so much. I love her mechanics of gameplay, ignoring the way she's built. I mean, yeah, fair enough. I like her gameplay mechanics. I hate the way she's built. Okay, let's say you have like, let's say you've reached like investment singularity. Okay, you have a Stray with speed, crit, break on every single freaking piece. Okay, she's still worse than Xingqiu. I think she's above these characters if you have that much investment, but I think she's still not very good. Wait, why is Renmei here? Oh, my bad. Okay, I think I've made my case. Dr. Ratio. Look, I feel like before all this AoE nonsense was happening, I feel like Dr. Ratio was on par with like, I feel like he was on par with Dill, at least before all this AoE nonsense was happening. It's hard to rank Ratio. The content doesn't cater towards him right now. I don't know if he goes down to tier 2 though, does he? Maybe I'll leave him in tier 1.5 then. I feel like he's like kind of relative to Dill. Black Swan. Yeah, I'll put her with Kaka. DOT needs help. Okay, Acheron. Here's the thing about Acheron. Okay, he's really hard to rank. I'm judging depending on your answer. Okay. Okay, let me make my case then. She's the second best DPS in Pure Fiction, and she is one of the best DPSs in every other game mode. Is she even? Yeah, no, she is. I think only the Herda is better than her. At least from a main DPS perspective. Okay, Jade is like a sub DPS. It's different. Jade can main DPS in Pure Fiction. Okay, if Jade main DPS in Pure Fiction, she's not better than Acheron. I don't know. You have this character, right, that is almost the best in one niche and is apex tier in both other game modes. If you put it that way, Lingshot Jade must be... Okay, regardless, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Regardless, Acheron is like one of the best characters in Pure Fiction by a long shot. And like, you just end up having a character that just like wins you every single game mode by herself. Now, granted, we are in like an AoE based content, but even so, we've had Acheron for like a while, and there has yet to be like a format that actually like made her struggle in. Like, I feel like even if things become less AoE oriented, like Acheron will still be very, very good because that's just you know, how things have always been. I don't know. I feel like for those reasons, I think Akron belongs in tier 0. This might be a hot take, but I don't know. This character just does everything, I feel like. Maybe if, like, the format is, like, literally single target, like, there's one person she would suck in, but there's, like, that's never been the case, right? It's always, like, even in single target formats, there's always been, like, trash mobs. And those trash mobs will give Akron stacks with Jiaoqiu. I don't know, I feel like Akron is tier 0. Wait, do we all agree Akron is tier 0? Because this is actually kind of a hot take for some people. I think it's arguable, but I think she's tier 0 if I had to choose. Okay, you know, I'm gonna do all the great characters at once, okay? Just because I done talking about all the. Okay, guys. Okay, here's the thing about the break DPSs. Okay, in single target formats, Bootil is the best. In 3 target formats, Firefly is the best. In 5 target formats, Rappa is the best. In every format, Bootil is the best break TFs. Yeah, use him in Pure Fiction and get back to me. I feel like all of them are very strong in their own rights, and I think it just depends on the environment they're in. If I did have to put one over the other, maybe I'd put Rappa above the other two, because Pure Fiction is always AoE. But regardless, I think they're all relative to each other. Jade. Jade is also hard to rank, because right now, everything is catered towards her. She's the best Herta support, usually, in most cases, is almost the best unit in Pure Fiction. Here's the thing about Jade, like, Jade, everything is 5 target right now, which means Jade is really good, just because everything is 5 target. I'm trying to like rationalize my own thoughts, because I've been thinking about Jade a lot. In many ways. If Jade is not in these 5 target scenarios, she just falls off a cliff. Like, even with the Herta, I'd feel like she'd also, like, still do a lot worse, because she's not getting, like, any stacks. She's absolutely not tier 0, absolutely not tier 0. I don't know. It's between tier 1 and 0.5. And also, Jade is probably going to get replaced in the Herta team, if I'm being honest. Because if MOC and Pure Fiction move away from 5 target content, Jade is just, like, homeless outside of Pure Fiction. Like, she'll be, like, kind of useless. Not, like, useless, but, like, a lot worse. So I don't really know how to rank this character. I never replaced Jade. Maybe 0.5. Because, like, occasionally she does see good use in MOC and APOC. It's not like she's completely useless in those modes. March 7th. March 7th is, like, a slightly worse version of Topaz that is a little easier to use in AoE. But she is worse than Topaz. She doesn't give us she doesn't give us many stacks to face out than Topaz does. She has worse, like, buffs as well. Her only, like, advantage is that it's easier for her to switch targets. You can also run, like, Super Break March, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, her main role is the face out support. I guess I'll put her in tier 1. I think I'll put her in tier 1. I don't know. Yunli. I think Yunli is very strong. I think she's very solid. I think she's better than any of the 1.0 DPSs, besides maybe Jingren. Like, she's on par. I think she just goes on tier 1. I think not, like, very solid DPS. Very strong, very solid. I think she's worse than, like, these guys, though. The thing about Yunli is that her DPS is so conditional. If the enemy attacks a lot, she ends up being, like, really broken. But if they don't attack, like, at all, like, for example, like, the enemies that just, like, apply DOT to you and do nothing, like, Yunli, like, falls off a cliff. I think she's overall just very solid, so we'll put her in tier 1. So actually, I'm pretty sure there are situations where this guy can out-damage Topaz. They're not very common, though. The thing is, he's skill point neutral, right? He's not skill point positive. Topaz and March 7th, most of the time anyways, are completely skill point positive. Monza has the weakness where he isn't. Which, to be fair, in Face Yao's best team usually isn't a problem, but it does, like, screw him up in AoE situations. He kind of falls over in AoE situations harder than the other 2 we're comparing him to before. I think I'll put him tier 1. So as a hunt DPS, Face Yao does have the inherent weakness of not being very good in Pure Fiction. I would say right now, like, she's kind of getting screwed over by MOC and APOC. They're making everything AoE for some reason. That being said, if we put her back in an environment where everything is more or less single target, or even blast target, even, like, she's absolutely tier 0. In those situations. She just has, like, the best single target we have in the game. Like, it feels wrong for me to put her in the same tier as Boot Hill. I feel like Face Out is normally tier 0. She's just getting screwed over by the current environment. So I think I want to put her in tier 0 because of that. It's not like she completely rolls over either in like AoE situations. Like she can clear MOC. If you want to put her tier 5, I won't blame you. The Herda. I mean, I don't think I have to elaborate too much. I think the Herda is broken. The only argument you could have against her is everything is catered towards her right now, which is fair. Like, I don't know, Hoyo just like, I don't know, they're jerking Herda off so much. It's kind of weird that they're just making every game mode catered around the Herda. But I mean, even ignoring that, best multi-target DPS, best purification DPS. I think regardless, she's tier 0. I would too. Okay. Hello, base department. Aglia. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. This is the best MOC TPS we have. This is the best MOC TPS we have right now. Like this, like even I'm talking E0 or like E0 S1, like not even E1. This character is broken. She has just like the fastest MOC clears like ever. I don't freaking get it. This character is ridiculous. I don't know. People doom posting her like delusional. I don't know. Like this character is so broken. And I guess just for completion or for more to elaborate more, I guess she's also like top. She's also like broken in APOC Shadow as well. She's really good in APOC Shadow, and she's like pretty good in Pure Fiction. Like she gets the job done in Pure Fiction. So I think she's tier 0. Okay, but anyways, that's Aglia. How would you rank Daddy? So my day has a lot of problems. He does a lot of damage if the stars align, especially if Signature Lycone. Honestly, without Signature Lycone, I feel like he's not all that. I feel like he's pretty Sig reliant / E1 reliant, or both. In Pure, his auto target is like really bad for, like it's pretty bad for Pure Fiction, and it's really bad for APOC. Sometimes it's not big of a deal, but a lot of times it is. Does he get the privilege of being run sustainless? Like sometimes, but like it's sustainless my day is like is weird because if you die too many times, then he exits his Vendetta state when he revives, and you don't want that. So sometimes like it's a DPS loss. I don't know, I feel like I feel like he just isn't consistent enough to be tier 0. Like he's really good in MOC, especially with Sig. But outside of it, like, his problems kind of... Oh, hi, Fo, how's it going? The auto target is the reason I skip. His damage is fine, his crit is quite balanced, and it's interesting, but the auto target is dumb. Exactly! I don't know why they added auto targeting to him. It's so dumb. I hate it. I only pulled him because I was horny. I think tier 0.5. Because that all being said, he still does, like, a lot of damage. He just still does a ridiculous amount of damage. Mid for Valen's DPS in the bedroom? What? What does that mean? Also, I feel like he's not even all that in MOC, by the way. So, here's the thing, okay? I have a, where's my day? I have an E0, S0 my day, right? Considering Secret Vow gives no crit stats or HE stats, like, he's, like, relatively well built, right? -1 speed Sunday. Sunday's pretty well built, too. I cleared MOC first half, which is Imaginary Week, in 4 cycles. And we know it's not skill issue because it's auto. And like 4 cycles for like the game mode he's made for is like a little concerning for an E0 S0 unit. I don't know. Like to be fair, I don't have his best in slot team, right? I don't have Tribby, which is a kind of a big deal. But I do have Sunday, which is more important. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe like I don't know. I'm sure that changes with E1 or not E1. Sorry, S1. Yeah, like, I don't know, because, like, Prideman, like, ranks him E0, S0, like, tier 0. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I don't have Tribby. Maybe that's just the difference, I don't have Tribby, so maybe that's why he's, like, worse for me. Okay, well, I think this is did we miss anyone? For DPS? I think this is pretty solid. Yeah. Okay, so this is the DPS tier list. This is the sustain tier list, or support, and this is the sustain tier list. I think we did a pretty good job.